Good afternoon, the burning Seagull. This is the yearly medical examination results for the Core 1. I will be talking about certain points that we found during the various tests performed at the lab that we think need some serious attention. Let's start with specific individuals that require a great deal of attention, and then we can go to the general groups. Let's start, shall we? Beginning with the patient known as Kronos. After launching a specialized research team, we have finally been able to reach a definitive diagnosis. This individual suffers from a rare syndrome called Seagull. This should clear up any doubts as to why certain things happen during RAID. We have prescribed a therapy companion named Faku. They have grown very close, and this has decreased the syndrome effects. Next is War. It has been 4,924,800 seconds since this tier released. This individual hasn't stopped mentioning for a single second about how power infusion is the sole reason he isn't at the top of the DPS charts, and that it is mathematically impossible to reach a blue log without it. After performing numerous tests, we have identified that this individual has a severe addiction to the compound known as copium. We have referred him to a Copium Anonymous program indeed. Patient Pun, truly a remarkable case that will probably end up changing the definition of greatness in the English dictionary. No problems associated with this individual. On the contrary, he is being mentioned due to some really impressive characteristics, such as having an immaculate, strong physique with an unwavering sex appeal, which can be observed through his DPS. Seems to be the front-runner for the Sanctum of Domination MVP title. Yet again, oof! Some things never change, huh? Next, Yami. Still playing Hunter? No more comments. Patient Ganshi. Besides the heavy use of drugs during raid time and the chronic condition that causes him to use all cooldowns half a second before a wipe is called, the individual seems to be at top condition indeed. Finally, the last person to be individually mentioned is Shilian. We have identified during tests that this individual has a condition that causes him to never stop talking. The amount of words spoken by this person exceeds 10,000s and thousands and thousands during a raid, and we believe this is the reason as to why certain people get distracted and can't do the most brain-dead mechanics, such as the Soki Rakalo. Well, that would conclude individual mentions. Now we will talk about groups. Recently, we noticed an influx of Peruvian in the core, more specifically, the individuals known as Cillian, Pandos, and Pun Pun. Coincidentally, there has never been such a dramatic jump in quality and performance levels in the history of this core. There may be a correlation between these 2 points. The Mages, Tolkien, and Carlos. We haven't been able to find a concise answer for this phenomenon, but it seems to cause their logs to range between gray and green color. Ha! Got 'em! Now, the healers, truly the heroes of this core, indeed. Certain points that need to be mentioned, though. We have observed that from the start of this tier to current day, the officer Tishel has gone from having the body composition of a 20-year-old boy to the body of an 80-year-old man with severe baldness. And I would suggest to stop stressing him out. Seagull has achieved astronomical levels of the protein named Chad. Stefanish from the Brotherhood of Pun Pun, doing spectacular as expected. And last but not least, special shout out to Lexi, being a good tier shaman under the Venezuelan debuff. Next, the Chilean golden duo, Amani and Kawau, creators of the hit sentence, once chupala entonces. Amani, commonly known as the silent hero, and Kawau, known for having a lower DPS rank than Mamuchu, being the captain of the best Mythic Plus team in Regenaris, and famous for having reached rank 1 with his teammate Pun Pun in Season 1. The two individuals are at peak performance and showcase an irresistible physique as evidenced by the waves of female fans. Viva Chile, we own. Now, the warriors, Redek and Vaguito, known for having the tick of spamming Mortal Strike as fast as humanly possible. Now, these two poor souls were born with the condition of not having execute on one boss during this tier, which puts them in the sad position of being among the top DPS classes, but not the best. Such is life, unfair and full of pain and suffering. Toto the Warlock, born with the rare gift of being able to do DPS while doing mechanics. The individual periodically suffers from stress episodes when Tolkien tells him to stop doing the mechanic correctly in the middle of an encounter. This, however, is just a side effect of the complicated romantic relationship between the two individuals, scientifically known as sexual tension. Chopper and Rumkey, the Moonkins. Yikes! Cringe class! Maybe let the other DPS enjoy the game? It must be fun to delete half the planet with one burst of those shitty stars. Besides the furry stuff, healthy overall though. The second demon hunter, Nano, also known as the ball thrower bot in Nurzul, shows a promising future at continuing to mess with balls and a solid spot among the Chilean elite in the Core 1. Lastly, the trials Fragu and Last Deet. We still haven't got, though, quite enough testing done, but eventually we'll be able to determine their health status. Well, this would be all for the medical examination results at this moment, and we look forward to seeing y'all next year once Pun Pun has taken over this guild. So get wrecked, nerds!